What's poppin'? Back with even more Draft League content for you all. SPL semifinals, and I'm bringing some heat since we definitely have our work cut out for us today as we take on my boy Uzi, who has an incredibly strong draft consisting of threats, like literally everything on his team. Look at his team. He's got defensive mons that can be offensive mons and offensive mons that can be defensive mons. Somewhat, maybe not the Weavile, the Kilowattrel, but you get the idea. Tera captains in Kilowattrel, Krogonal, and Sudowoodo. Don't think Pseudo will make an appearance, but definitely Kilowattrel and Krogonal seem the most likely. This is also a battle between Blood Moon Ursaluna and regular Ursaluna. Evil Emvee versus my Shadow former self. A true trial before finals. Now, after days of relentless testing, I settled on what I believe is the best 6 to bring for this matchup. And on your screen, the first mon you see is, indeed, my THWACKEY. That's right. Tera Grass Choice Band Grassy Light THWACKEY has the potential to clean up opposing teams when they are weakened. It can Oko Empoleon with Woodhammer, Great Tusk, Gardevoir, Krogonal, Weavile, and stuff like that with Grassy Glide, including Tuikio the Kilowattrel with Grassy Glide. Even if it's resisted in its Tera type, it does like 52 min, which is pretty crazy. Does a lot of damage. Very strong late game cleaner. Now I did try Espeon and Sableye while testing, and I don't know why, but both of them didn't perform as well as this little guy, especially in the end game, so we'll see how it goes. I might be the only one who dares to bring a THWACKEY to semifinals. We'll just have to weaken the Dragalge first, but I do think that's coming for sure. But every time I was testing, I would end up in an end game scenario with Empoleon and something else, and Manaphy and my Tera captain, and THWACKEY seemed to be the one that just put in the most work overall. It does have U-turn momentum as well, which is nice to be able to pivot out of like Dragalge, for example, and have it take Rock's chip and go into something else, pretty much. So I'm excited for this mon to hopefully put in some work for this game. Now we have the Dunsparce. So I do think Stealth Rocks are extremely valuable in this matchup. So I am bringing the Dunsparce, which is my only rock for this team. And it has Focus Sash, so we can guarantee set up rocks, Glare to paralyze things, Boomburst Earth Power, which is great coverage versus his team, and enough speed to outrun Booster Tusk after Glare. I think that's really great. And on its own, with Rattled, it can speed tie Krogonal, so that's cool. Max speed, I don't even think Krogonal's going to run max speed anyways, so yeah, it's a really solid lead set here for spreading paralysis and just setting up rocks. Rocks will be great to be able to chip Pokemon like the Weavile, Kilowattrel, Cerulege, etc. If he doesn't expect me to bring rocks, because I think I've only brought rocks once, so I would assume that maybe he doesn't run boots on everything, right? He wouldn't need to. If I'm bringing T-Spikes, he has Dragalge, which is a guaranteed absorber for a very reliable run at that for his team against my Toxic Spike. So I'm bringing Stealth Rocks because I think it's really good into him if he doesn't bring Rapid Spin. Then we have Blood Moon, which is Choppleberry 4 attacks, a very bulky Chinese EV spread here, and I'm running some speed so I can try to outrun his Ursaluna as well as the Empoleon and other stuff like that. Any kind of slow mons I can try to outrun with this Pokemon, like Dragalge, Empoleon, and Ursaluna are the ones that I mainly want to outrun with this set here. It's just able to take hits and sponge attacks really well. It can sponge like an offensive attack from certain special attackers with these EVs here. Physical side, it can take a banded Bitterblade pretty easily. Close combat stuff with Choppleberry, -1 on like Great Tusk and stuff like that. We just destroy with Blood Moon, or even Ursaluna might run close combat. We could just destroy it with Blood Moon as well. So of course, as any of these playoff games could be my last, have to bring Blood Moon, my featured Pokemon or star Pokemon of my draft, to pretty much all of these games, right? Just in case, it's the storyline. Now we have Hisuian Goodra, and Hisuian Goodra I think is fantastic for this one in particular. Now I don't have the best ice resistances, so Tera Ice Krogonal is just really good because it has Freeze Dry. Manaphy is a sponge as well, but Freeze Dry is not good against water types. It's super effective against water types, so it's not good for me to switch into. But special defensive Hisuian Goodra can be really nice versus the mons like Kilowattrel, Shaman, Dragalge, Krogonal, even Gardevoir, right? We could sponge all the special attacks, heavy slam those mons to get chip. We also have Acid Armor Body Press, or Acid Armor Surf is really great against like Great Tusk if it -1 Headlong Rush. Surf does a lot of damage after rocks, and we take hits really well. We have Gooey so that we can slow mons down, for example, upon contact, and then be able to outrun with things like maybe Woodhammer on THWACKEY, which the speed here is for Great Tusk at -1. speed, and then like the Dunsparce can outrun stuff, or even Ursaluna can still outrun some things at -1 speed. So it could be cool with Gooey just to be able to have some speed control, but this set in particular is really good versus him, I think. Just having the option to even body press Oko Weavile and do a lot to Empoleon and just acid armor to boost our defense. Special defense is really good. It feels like it's AV, but it's not. You see what I mean? Like it actually can sponge hits really well. Leftovers for the longevity. Now I have a really unique and interesting set in Thundurus. This is actually what I was running on my Tornadus for my Inteleon showcase. I had a Tornadus with sub bulk up, acrobatics, and brick break, and I'm running that on Thundurus. I think it's really good into him for this week because it is able to break through a lot of his mons, especially ones that are more specially defensive. Because you could sub, you could bulk up acrobatics after Citrus Berry. We're running an even number HP, so that we can activate Citrus Berry after 1 sub if we take Stealth Rocks. If he sets up rocks, which I think he will set up rocks, and it's gonna be like rocks on my side, rocks on his side. We can sub after 1 time, maybe bulk up once, start acrobatic spamming. Brick Break is just in case he brings screens, because I do believe he brought screens once before, and so I want to be able to have a way to break that. And also Brick Break is just great versus Empoleon and stuff like that, right? We don't really need electric coverage versus his team. I think Brick Break kind of covers, it Oko's Weavile, it covers Empoleon, Cryogonal, and like a bunch of other stuff like that. And acrobatics is the only kind of stab we need versus his team, which I think is cool, and it's fast enough to outrun Cryogonal. Finally, Manaphy Choice Scarf, 3 attacks, flip turn, I think is really good. Just to have some speed control versus mons like the Great Tusk, and +1 boost energy Great Tusk outruns that with the speed that we have here. And I think it's really solid overall as a Pokemon, just to be able to have something fast enough. Empoleon, if it makes an appearance, we just flip turn out and go into Blood Moon or something, pressure his team, or Thwackey and just Wood Hammer. So Empoleon, if it's coming, it probably has Haze or something, or Roar, something for sending out Manaphy after it tail glows. I'm sure we'll have some countermeasures for that, but this one is a completely different set. And yeah, that's the team. We have priority in Grassy Glide, Vacuum Waves, stuff like that, so it could be really nice to chip things down after Stealth Rocks, and overall the goal is to win. So let's see if we can do that with this team. I think we have a really strong team. I've been testing a lot, so hopefully we can put in the work. Whenever the game begins, we'll queue into it, and yeah, semifinals. Exciting stuff, so I'll see you all for the game shortly. It's time for the semifinals of the SPL Draft League, and we must face our former self, our shadow, the one who has regular Ursaluna, my good friend Uzi Gunner. And I did a lot of testing for this game, tried tons of various diverse and unique sets to settle on the 6 that I'm bringing today, which I felt were the best for this matchup based on all the practices that I did, and I did a lot of practices for this one. And yeah, if we win this game, we either face Joey or Mephisto in finals, and fighting Joey would be perfect for the Evil Emvee storyline. Of course, getting there will be no easy task, so I'm excited to see what he brings versus us. And if you're enjoying this content and you're not already subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel. Really trying to get to that 100K, so it would be much appreciated. I'm sure we'll get there eventually, but your help is very valued. Very, very valued. But let's see what he brings. And we have found him, so it's time. The fight shall begin, and I'm excited. Let's see what happens. He's got the Shaman, Ursaluna, Weavile, Cerulege, Great Tusk, and Dragalge. Okay, so it's going to be the Blood Moon versus the regular. No Empoleon. I'm super surprised about that. No Gardevoir either. And no Kilowattrel. Ooh. I didn't expect these 6, actually. Actually, this is really bad for Thwackey. This is actually really bad for Thwackey. He's got, so first of all, I didn't expect Shaman, just because I have Goodra and stuff like that. Shaman I knew was a possibility, but yeah, he has a lot of resistances to Choice Band, Tera Grass, Grassy Glide, which I thought would be so good in the late game. It could still be good in the late game if we can weaken stuff, right? I do think that the Dunsparce is probably my best lead here, just because I can get up rocks. Would he bring Rapid Spin on Great Tusk to this matchup? I don't know, because I've only brought rocks like once in the entire season, and it's only on the Dunsparce. I only have rocks on the Dunsparce for my entire draft, so I don't know if he'd want to bring Rapid Spin versus me. I've brought T-Spikes like twice, but all he needs is Dragalge to T-Spike absorb, which he has. So if we can keep up rocks, and he doesn't have heavy duty boots on Weavile or Cerulege, that immediately makes this game a lot easier. But I'm curious to see what he leads with. It could be lead Weavile, lead Cerulege, lead something, I don't know. We'll see. But he decides to challenge us. May or may not be his first mistake. We'll find out. Could be mine. We'll see. Great Tusk lead versus the Dunsparce. So I think versus this Mon, which in testing, I've faced a lot of Choice Scarf sets. It made a lot of sense versus my team because of, you know, being faster than Espeon and things like that. Manaphy. Choice Scarf made a lot of sense. So if I could glare this thing, that'd be great. And my speed is set to be faster than Choice Scarf Great Tusk. I'm 226 speed. Also boost energy Great Tusk in plus speed. So he sets up rocks. This is great. We now glare it, so that's beautiful. In fact, I think what I could do before getting up rocks is boom bursting. Boom bursting would allow me to get enough damage on this Mon, and then he can knock me out right after. So he's probably not going to think I'm stealth rocks. Goes for the headlong rush here. And so if he doesn't want me to knock out this Pokemon, he wants to save it for a sack, he could go into Cerulege, which I think I can get my rocks up here. Getting up my rocks here would be great. So here, I'm sure if he's just Stealth Rocks, he's probably Headlong Rush, Close Combat, and Ice Spinner. Perhaps, I think is what he could be. 3 attacks, right? Stealth Rocks, 3 attacks. Maybe a lead set. Thinking about this turn. Yeah, this is going to be great if we can keep rocks up here. That would be fantastic. He can knock us out with another Headlong. Goes for Rapid Spin. Oh, no. Oh, no. He knew I had Stealth Rocks. Or he just went for it. Oh, what? That's annoying. Now I have to Boom Burst. I don't even think I can afford to, like... I could go for another Rocks just to see if he gets paralyzed, but... Oh, that's annoying. Maybe I just attack then in that case, right? Just to knock it out. And not try to fish for a para. I'll Earth Power just in case he goes Cerulege, I guess. But he just sacks. Okay. So I don't get rocks in this game. That's annoying. He has Rapid Spin on it. But like I don't even bring hazards. I never bring hazards. I brought it only this one time, aside from like once during the regular season that was not T-Spikes. If it's T-Spikes, then you just bring your Poison type, that's it. And I predicted like the Poison type not coming in whatever matches I brought it for, and it worked. But no rocks is annoying. But that's fine though. I can play a game without rocks and with rocks on my side. Actually, while testing, I played a game where I was up against like Toxic Spikes versus my side, and I still won. Because I didn't bring my Poison type because I figured he wouldn't bring T-Spikes. And I don't think his Regalgy would have T-Spikes. Not in this matchup. Because I have 2 Poisons on my team. So there's like no way unless somehow he knew exactly what I was bringing. Goes into Weavile here, so he will be able to knock me out. I don't think I can really switch out into much, right? Like, I could try to Glare here. I can't switch out because I die to rocks. I could save it as a sack, maybe? What could I go into then? Not much, really. Wants to switch into this thing. Yeah, this mon is a huge threat. This mon is an incredible threat. Goes for knockoff. Okay, that's fine. And, no information on this item, right? Yeah, none. None whatsoever. So it could be Sash. It could be Boots. It could be something of the sort. It's not Life Orb. It could be Choice Band. So here I'm thinking, if it is Choice Band, none of my mons would really want to take this hit, right? Especially after rocks. Except what I could do here is potentially go into Blood Moon Ursaluna. If I go Blood Moon Ursaluna, I could fire off a pretty big Blood Moon attack into something, do a lot of damage. It pretty much hits everything really hard, right? We've already gotten rid of the Great Tusk, which is great. So I think that's the play. Because we also have Vacuum Wave, so he'd be afraid of that too. I'm not sure if he has anything that can take this really well, but we'll find out. Unless he's got like AV mons. If I were him, I would have brought like Emvee or Saluna or something, which is pretty good into myself. See what his reaction is for this mon. He doesn't really have a lot of great switches, actually, now that I think about it. Not to this mon. Okay, switches out here. Goes into, yep, his Ursaluna. Ursaluna versus Ursaluna. Let's see how much this takes. That did nothing. Was that like 30%? 25, 30? That did nothing. That is as Emvee as it gets. And that's like full speed F too. Oh, wow. Okay, so in this, so I do have a Chople Berry, right? What I could do here potentially is I could go hard into Thundurus, or I could stay in just to get a little more chip damage on this mon and then go Thundurus, because I have a Chople Berry intact. In case he goes for close combat, I can get a -1 Hyper Voice off, which would be pretty cool. Or just Earth Power not to reveal Hyper Voice. Is same power, you know. Low kick, okay, that's fine. So I should eat this up pretty well. Yeah, nice. Very nice, very nice. Earth Power here. Okay, so it's below half now, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to Blood Moon or anything. I'm going to go right into my Thundurus here, I think is the play. Because if I stay into attack, I get pretty low. And I want to at least keep this to check Weavile. It's out of range of an Ice Shard easily. Even after rocks, right? So I think going Thundurus here is fine. Then I get a bulk up. And a bulk up into a sub. Activate the Acrobatics, I think is the play. This is actually really tough. Because I'm trying to not lose too many Pokemon right now because of rocks. Let's see what he goes for. He goes for hopefully another low kick. Yeah, there it is. Nice. So another low kick here. Doesn't activate my Citrus, which is fine because I can now just go right for a bulk up, I think is the play. Or I could sub. But bulk up does seem kind of nicer for now. I'm gonna bulk up here. So depending on what he goes into, if he goes Dragalge, I could sub on a potential Dragon Tail, get behind the sub. That'd be really good if I could do that. Goes into Ceruledge, okay. So the reason, if he would have Rapid Spin, the reason he'd have it is if this thing is like Sash with Weak Armor. So I'm gonna sub here. If it's Sash with Weak Armor, I probably have to pop this thing's. I have to break the Sash, or I can't even like knock it out in one hit, right? I don't think I can. Sash would make a lot of sense versus me, just to have a potential check to like a bigger threat, or get a free like Swords Dance up or something. But this Acrobatic should do a lot. Got a nice little sub going. He goes to the Bitter Blade. Could also be Choice Banded too. Should I bulk up again or just attack and break this? Because the last thing I want is to get knocked out by a Bitter Blade into a Shadow Sneak. So I'm gonna attack here. Unless this thing is like Choice Banded or something. If it's Choice Banded, then then it would just do a lot anyways. But then maybe I could have bulked up again. I don't know. I don't know if I should have bulked up again or not. I mean, he would just revenge with Weavile anyways afterwards, so. Bitter Blade's here. Does that put me in range of a Shadow Sneak? Bitter Blade and it might, but I can't switch out anyways because of the rocks. But it is in flip turn range now. It does look like it's in flip turn range from Manaphy. Shadow Sneak's here, and it does knock me out. Okay. So yeah, I guess we can go Manaphy now, right? It does seem like what we can do. Going Gudra could work, but I don't want Gudra weakened because we have to deal with Dragalge and Shaman and stuff like that. So going Manaphy, flip turning out into something like the Gudra or even the Thwackey could work. So yeah, I mean from this range it always knocks it out. So this seems pretty good. Unless, of course, he's... What the heck? Lives on 1? Is that HP invested? There's no shot. Come on. Or that has HP or some defense in it. Oh, come on. So at least I'll take the Poltergeist here and then just vacuum with Solar Blade. Oh no. This is going so wrong. This game is not going my way at all right now. Solar Blade. And it was Power Herb. Oh, I should have bulked up with Thundurus again. I should have just bulked up with Thundurus again and Oko this mon then. But then Weavile just knocks me out afterwards. But still, I would have at least... Oh, what the heck. I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. First of all, his survival. That definitely had to be some weird roll, right? I don't even know. That was crazy. Alright. Alright. But yeah, Vacuum Wave should pick this thing off. Now, I wish I had Rocks up. I wish I had Rocks up. Rocks would have made this game so much easier. Rocks would have really helped a lot. Go Shaman, okay. This will do like 1%, maybe 2. Yeah, 3. Okay. So Gudra gets to come in now. I could save my Ursaluna just because of the fact that I should survive a round of Stealth Rocks. I should survive a round of Stealth Rocks, so I feel like my best play... Or is it to stay in? Would he double, predicting my Gudra switch? I mean, he'd definitely go for Earth Power. He has no reason not to. I wouldn't go Thwackey here because it just powers up Seed Flare if he wants to go for that. What do I do? His team feels really good into mine. Like, just the sets is really good into mine. Yeah, I mean, this is an easy Earth Power read for him. I have no other switch in right now. But I should be able to tank it relatively well. It'll only do about like 25. Yeah, a little less than that even. Or about that much. I get Leftovers Recovery too. And so I think my play now is to probably Acid Armor here. I think I can Acid Armor. Because if I Acid Armor, his best switch right now is to go probably Ursaluna. Or Dragalge, I guess, if he has Dragon Tail. Ursaluna would be a good switch in. I could just Body Press. I'll live any hit from the like Headlong Rush or whatever. I'll live any hit. And I can just do what I have to do, you know. That Shaman is in the ground. Why? Get out of the ground. Okay, so he switches out here. Who does he go into? He goes into, yep, the Ursaluna as I expected. And we get a nice little Acid Armor going. We'll be able to knock out Ursaluna right now. I'm trying to set us up in a position where Thwackey can just spam Grassy Glide, but I don't know how I can do that with Dragalge having not come out yet. In all my mocks, Dragalge gets weakened. Dragalge got weakened early on. Or it was forced to come in, and then it just took Rock's chip. And like so much chip. And just got knocked out. One after the other. Yeah, I mean, we eat that up pretty well. Little body press here. Knock it out. Cool. So, another Mon down finally. Scarlet is at 1 HP. Weavile, Shaman, Dragalge still healthy. And the Weavile has like Ice Shard definitely, right? So, let's just see what we can do here. Is this game still salvageable? I think it might be. Question is, who does he go into? Because I feel like right now, who's this? Who's this guy? This is the Dragalge. Okay, this is actually nice. This is actually pretty nice because I can just chip this with Heavy Slam. It should do a lot too. Should do a decent amount. Did nothing. Not much. Rocky Helmet as well. The Rocky Helmet sends me flying into who? Ah, not ideal. It's the THWACKEY. Now, I would want a hard switch out here just to not take Rocky Helmet chip, but then he gets just free recovery. So I'd rather just take a little chip just to make this thing not recover as much, hopefully. So I'll just U-turn regular. Don't want to take a Sludge Bomb. He might think I'm Tera Steel. Maybe Dragon Tails again, but I don't know. It's not worth risking staying in, going for a knockoff here. I don't think I can afford that. His team feels really good into mine. It feels really, really good into mine. The 6 that I brought. Like, unnaturally. I guess I go Goodra. In case he tries to Sludge Bomb, I get a little bit more recovery chip. Because right now, I need to try to... put things in Grassy Glide range. But the only way I can do that is for this thing to get weakened. I might be able to, if Shaman is more Spadef, put in some work with the THWACKEY versus the Shaman. Maybe. I don't know. It will be tough. So I have to go Ursaluna here. I'll live the Stealth Rocks. And then I think I Blood Moon. Because if he goes Shaman, that gets weakened. And this Mon is, of course, weakened. Maybe I can knock off at one point and just try to get rid of Dragalge. But it could be really Fizz-Def. It does seem really Fizz-Def. If I brought, like, Dragon Pulse or whatever, Draco Meteor on my Dragalge, this thing would have been cooked. Like, actually cooked. It feels like he knows my sets. He's like a mind reader. Or, I guess he's my shadow former self, but still. Goes into Scarlet. Okay, so that gets sacked here. Not bad. But I don't think, see, Ursaluna gets healed back up. I think out of Stealth Rock range. But I don't have a way, I don't have a Mon to go into right now. He gets to go into like Shaman now, right? Or Weavile and Ice Shard. I'm pretty sure is what he has to do. Trying to think, if I brought Tera Espeon, no, he has too much special bulk, like the Emvee Ursaluna. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a Heavy Slam or something for Espeon, because in practice Espeon was not doing well. I had a really good set for, I had some really good sets that I was testing, and they were on the main team, but I switched them out because they weren't doing as well in practice, but they would have done so well here. Oh, they would have done so well. Kind of wish I brought those sets. So I guess I could Vacuum Wave here, but I could also just... See, if I Vacuum Wave, it just heals itself, and, I mean, there's not much damage done anyways. But he could miss a Seed Flare, And if he misses a Seed Flare, I could just go right for a Hyper Voice. Trailblaze? Oh. Oh my. Oh my. The Trailblaze is insane. The Trailblaze is actually insane. So, we go Thwackey and U-turn out. He can't knock me out or anything from this range, I don't believe, so we can U-turn out here. I don't know if he's running a lot of speed on Trailblaze. Maybe he's only enough for like Sneasler, perhaps. Which I didn't bring, which was one of the sets I was going to bring, which I think would have done really well in this matchup. The set that I had in particular would have done so well. I was going to bring Swords Dance Power Herb Dig and Oko the Dragalge and then just sweep. Which in practice, it was just not consistent. But in this matchup, I think I could have done it. I was going to bring like other stuff. No, this is so annoying. This feels like such a good... this is such a good team that he brought versus me. This feels like such a good team. I can't do anything. I literally can't break it. I have to like go like Manaphy now and Ice Beam and pray. Oh. Like I consistently started winning with this version of the team. Against Joey and Emil helping me test. Switches out here probably into Weavile if he's predicting Ice Beam or... Oh, is it back to... Is that Shaman? Yeah, Shaman, nice. Getting damage on this is great, actually. Getting damage on this is fantastic. Can't switch out because I power up Seed Flare. He might miss Seed Flare and I might freeze. Is that my only way to win? Is just to Ice Beam again? I feel like it might be. I've not gotten fortunate in this game at all. Not once. Yeah, there's a Seed Flare. That mon is like Spadef, but it's also offensive, but it's also... He has all like the right mons that he brought. Is it just me? My team did not feel like it was an even matchup versus this team. Just the mons in general. Because I expected different stuff to come. Empoleon, I'm super surprised it didn't show up. As did the Kilowattrel and stuff. I'll show him what my Tera is and just Grassy Glide. Just see how much it does. Just to get an idea of how much I could have done. Thwackey, this is the end, my friend. Joey, this is the end. This is where it all ends. Yeah, that didn't even knock it out. That's crazy. This is Choice Band, Adam, and Tera Grass. Choice Band, Adam, and Tera Grass to this mon. Did not even knock it out. You know actually in the calcs how much it does to Kilowattrel? It does like 52 min. Which is crazy damage. And this mon just survived with ease. It survived. Imagine if I kept rocks up. That would have been crazy. And that is unfortunately the conclusion to this season. Little disappointed. Win or lose, I don't care, but the story of Evil Emvee and just dominating game after game felt like I was destined to win. I guess it works out since DLC drops in the next few days. So I gotta get ready for that, but I did want to win it so badly. I really did. I'm happy that Uzi won though. Nah, Uzi prepped super well for this game and deserves to be in the finals. He's been working hard just as I have. Great friend of mine. But his team in this game was without a doubt the ultimate counter team to my own. Like, oftentimes when turns were unfolding and things were happening, I didn't even know what to say. Because it was like, wow, this is like not doing anything. This team does not feel effective versus what he brought. It felt like he literally had everything to stop what I brought. Like at one point I thought he had the import to my team and I'm just like, wait, is he looking at my screen? Does he have my entire team? That's crazy. But nah, I mean, this was just a product of just good prep. Initially, I had things like I said, SD Power Herb Dig Sneasler, which would have probably 6'd in this matchup if I brought the right other sets to support it. I had bulk up Tera Sableye, which would have done so well in this matchup. That actually, bulk up Tera Sableye with Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, and Drain Punch looked so good in this matchup. But those were swapped out in practice since we weren't performing as well. I started winning with Thwackey for some reason, and then all of a sudden now it's just destruction. But yeah, I wish I brought one of those. Or if I kept rocks up during the match, like if Tusk got paralyzed after Glare, it would have changed everything. But regardless, though, really fun season. Overall, I felt my draft was great. It just becomes roulette after some time when you have so many things you can bring, but you have to bring the right 6. And either your opponent brings the right 6 or the wrong 6, or you bring the right 6 or the wrong 6. In this case, I brought the wrong 6, he brought the right 6. Simple as that. Content, though, absolutely phenomenal. This season felt way more fun because of the storyline. And I guess one cool thing is that because I didn't see this Evil Emvee storyline through, it shall continue for the next season. You know what I actually want to do? I want to change the team logo or whatever, because I haven't made my own. This one, the Chim Chargers one, was kind of like given to me, but I actually want to make my own. So I might I think I'm gonna get I'm gonna get an artist to make a big Nuggets, like instead of Denver Nuggets, like it'd be the Big Nuggets team. Like it'd be really cool, like something with big nuggets. I think would be kind of cool. But yeah, huge shout out to Uzi for this game. Great game overall. Hope you do well in the finals. Shout outs to Emil and Joey for the help all the season with testing. It helps a lot to test, right? Like I definitely performed super well in majority of my games this season just because of all the practice that I had. It's extremely helpful to know like patterns and just to have the most optimal sets, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out, just like this game. Either way though, I mean, we won most of our games and we play at a really high level, so I'm pretty proud of how we did. And yeah, hope you all are enjoying as much as I am. I'm having a great time. And before the end of this video, there's something quite interesting I have to show you all. I'm gonna cue into it, but before that, let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. What are you most excited about for the DLC coming out in a few days? What do you want me to draft next? Give me suggestions. I like to know. And with that being said, thank you all for the support. I shall see you all on the next one. Peace.